of the United Frontier Automobile Dealers Association. If you'd like to say a few words and introduce a couple of guest speakers.
I did not need this thing to look taller. I needed to make me look skinnier, and that's not working. Paula spent a lot of time thanking a lot of people. I want to give Paula a huge round of applause and asking every student to do what she's done. I am Paul Stajak. I have the pleasure and privilege of working for over 138 new car dealers and about 10,000 employees that work in our new car dealerships. Paula spent a lot of time for two reasons. One, we still need to judge because this competition is that intense. But more importantly, those thank yous that seem like they were long should be long. I want the students and the parents and the grandparents and the friends to understand that list that she just read out is a very small sampling of the people that will be behind your student and your son if they choose to come in our business. You're surrounded by a tremendous resource. We have a terrific career opportunity for every student that was here today, or their friends, or your next child that wants to come through this program. Our industry, I said, about 10,000 employees in Western New York, and we cover a lot of counties all the way to Binghamton. The kids here today are almost guaranteed a job. And I have 3 children, and I can't say that for one of them, because they didn't choose to go in a career tech initiative. Your field that you're choosing, kids, could be a career for life and a very well-paying job for life and a very rewarding job for life. We mentioned manufacturers. We mentioned dealers. The lab coat guys are dealership service managers. The second highest level to the dealers, the general managers, sorry. But they do. Nothing happens without a car being sold and fixed. You have an opportunity to craft your own future. Start today. To the parents that are out there that have any mystery about what will happen to my son or daughter, don't. Please, please don't. They'll be in more than capable hands in our dealers. These employees here today invested hundreds, if not thousands of hours, individually and collectively, for your children. I want to thank each instructor in here, those guys that are out there. Nothing happens for us without them. So on behalf of our dealers, thank every one of you for making an investment of your time with the kids till they come to us. So give your instructors, kids, and just the kids, a round of applause. It's important to know that. I said a lot of things go into a successful opportunity to be employed, but today you're going to hear from 3 different groups. And I'll give you a sampling of what you can expect for your career. We have had former students here today all day. Kids that were in your position have been walking around talking to some parents while you guys were working on the cars, saying they were a nervous wreck like you were today. Now they're doing a great job. I'm going to invite John Gorman and his mom Ray up. You've had dealers here today. We've got more we're going to invite up in a minute who've been watching you. You want to call prospect, you want to call recruiting, call what you want. They know how important you will be to their future. So you've been surrounded today while you were working with a job interview. It was your job interview. It was your career interview. So parents out there, trust me, and you can smile, and you should be proud of your kids. I want to introduce John and his mom up here, because John was in your seat a few years back. John, you guys come up, please.
Hi, I'm Ray Gorman. 15 years ago, I was sitting there waiting for the results of this competition. John and his partner came in second place in the competition, and then they were given the opportunity to go on to New York City. There they came in 7th. I have a lot of stuff written down, but I'm probably going to get off task. They came in 7th in New York City. We were invited as a family to come and watch the competition. We spent the weekend there at the Jacob Javits Center watching, and then the awards dinner. And I don't know if every student in the competition gets awards, but came in 7th in the nation, and he was offered some scholarship money to go to a tech school, Wyoming Tech. And we really didn't want to leave the area. So Tom Herman, who was the chairman of the competition when John was in it, he approached us and said he didn't want to lose students from this area to other states. So he offered us appointments with, we had meetings and then we toured schools, and he set up an interview with Dwayne Paddock for John to have a sponsorship. And he did that with Paddock Chevrolet, and he was sponsored, and the school program he chose was Monroe. He did want to go to Wiotech. He had other kids that wanted to go and tried to set up apartments, housing, things, it was going to be very expensive. And in the end, that technical school wasn't going to give him a degree. He was going to get a certificate of completion. And I felt I wanted him to have a degree, an associate's degree. So he chose Monroe, and the program was really good. And 13 years later now, after graduation, he's the lead technician at Paddock Chevrolet, and he's a judge here at the competition and also the chairperson for the competition. So I just want to let you know that, there's no such thing as a mechanic anymore. People used to say, he's going to be a mechanic. He's an auto technician, and you need a lot of education, and you have to keep up with your education, and it's a very good job. And you can go really far if you're determined and you have the drive to do so, and John's always had that. He used to tell me when he was little, I don't want to just be a mechanic, I want to be the best. And I think he's really achieved that, in my eyes anyhow, of course, he should in my eyes. But I'm very proud of him, and he can tell you his story.
That was pretty much my introduction. So, public speaking is not my thing. I got an email from Tom Herman the other day about public speaking, and I'm not gonna lie, I ignored it.
Classic, thanks, John.
Completely ignored the email, and then I got a text message about a week later and asked again to do it. So I finally gave in and said, yeah, I can come up with some kind of speech, but I think my mom did a great job introducing and talking about college programs and everything, and now doing full circle and being here 13 years ago competing and being back judging. And I'm not the chairperson for the competition, I'm the chairperson for the advisory committee for Harkness, Potter, and Kenton. I went to Kenton when I was in high school and then competed at this level. But going in and doing the work with the advisory committee, we do a lot of mock interviews, and then I help with a lot of the interviews at Paddock for new technicians. I think the biggest thing we see is young kids say, I just want to fix cars. And you're sitting at the mock interview and the kid's looking at you and they want the tools, the toolbox, they see that and they just want to fix cars. Well, I just want to fix cars is a thing of the past. There's two piles when we do the mock interviews. There's either in college or going to college and not in college. We look at these ones, we don't look at not in college because there's too many safety features on new cars and liability for us to go forward without proper education. And GM actually requires it for a lot of our training, and job experience is astronomical to actually get to the amount of college training that is required. That's about all I have to say. I know everybody's been pushing you as students to go to college, but it's reality, it's not a joke. So your teachers and parents and advisors are not lying to you. It's a real thing. We look at it every time we interview somebody. That's about all I have to say.
He's a great example of what he can do. John's in the lab coat. 14 or 12 years ago, he was in your seat.